This is a brief description of the construction and arrangement of the 1.5" gauge track cleaner that I fabricated. And as you can see, it basically consists of 3 steel handheld BG86 blowers, leaf blowers, and 1 Husqvarna 580 BTS backpack blower. And it's all mounted on a 4-foot riding car, which more or less pretty much cramps me for space, but my future plans are to put this on a 6-foot flat car. To start out with, these are the blowers right here that I've used, and with a little modification you could use probably just about any brand. But one of the things I found very convenient, and that is the curved tubes that come with the combination blower and vacuum that Stihl makes. And these curved tubes here came in quite handy. To start out with, this gives you a close-up arrangement of the 3 jets. One jet blows right straight down the track, and that does a very nice job of clearing the track of leaves, pine needles, pine cones, what have you. And a critical item here is the angulation of the placing of these 2 90-degree angle jets that are angled roughly about 30 degrees downward, and they are placed about a ½ inch above the top of the rail. And you can see how I fabricated a 90-degree angle out of PVC pipe, and I'll show you that in just a second. But this is basically the critical operation here of the setup to clean the track initially. And these are the curved pipes that come with the Stihl arrangement, and as you can see, I have arranged it to where I can attach a 2-inch PVC pipe that I've fabricated. As you can see, I've glued these together, and it's also very critical that you take a Dremel tool and clean out and smooth out as much as possible the insides of it. And then with the addition of a heat gun, PVC turns into essentially butter. It basically is very, very easy to form. This is one of the prototype shapes that I made. As you can see, I have cleaned out the inside, smoothed it off, put a heat gun on it, squished it down to a slight horizontal, elongated fashion, and then angled the jets. And they're placed properly above the track, about 30 degrees down. As you can see, I've got them very, very simply with wood arrangements and angulations on a pallet that I made. And it's a pretty close packed operation. Okay, my center blower I found I conveniently put a clamped on to the blower with a simple fire extinguisher wall mounted bracket. And so when I'm stopped to change the rail, or change the turnout, clean out a turnout frogs, things like this, or maybe even blow off a parallel siding track, this becomes a handheld blower. And as you can see, the intakes for one of the blowers is right adjacent to the intake for the cooling of the air-cooled motor in the other one. So I tried to make a little bit of a fence there to separate the two. And as you can see, it's pretty simply made, and it's all arranged on a pallet, and it's arranged where it hangs out above and in front of the flat car, only a 4-foot flat car. Okay. One of the problems, I admit, on the side jets, and that is if you stop for any reason at all to change the turnout or change the switch, if the leaf blowers are left at full throttle, it will start to erode the ballast. And so I made a simple little adjustment here, a connection to the throttle linkage on the leaf blower, and I can easily reach from my seat these 2 little wire pins or wire gigs, and I can idle the leaf blowers until the train gets running again. Now, this is the powerhouse behind this, and this is the 580 Husqvarna BTS leaf blower, and you can see it just barely fits in right behind my seat. One of the problems, though, is I use a Plumb Cove Studios generic electric box cab to push the my flat car and cleaning machine down the track, and I've got a little bit of a close tolerance here, so I had to make a quick, very simple diversion out of 2 90 degree and a 45 degree 2-inch copper pipes, and I squeezed them down a little bit, fabricated them right around the the exhaust pipe was on the leaf blower is maybe inch and an eighth by inch and a half, or no, about half an inch by an inch and a half. But as you can see, I needed to divert all the hot air away from the box cab so it didn't blow onto the battery and the electronics. Also, I made a very simple aluminum diversion for the hot air coming off of the air-cooled motor. And then on top of that, I simply fabricated a quick extension coupler, and it out of a simple stock channel, box channel, and with 2 couplers, and it gives me about another 8 inches. And this is about a 3 3/4 inch outlet, 900 cubic feet per minute. This is aircraft ducting that I used, and this is 4-inch ducting into 3-inch PVC 45 degree angle pipe, which fits inside of the 4-inch TABS sewer pipe. That's right, sewer pipe. And I made a slight diversion here to smooth out the flow on the inside. I wish I could show you that. And that was built up with balsa wood and Bondo. And then the pipe narrows down with smooth channeling down to 2.65 inches in diameter. So if you calculate it out, pi r squared, 2 times that area of those 2 jets pretty much roughly equals the 3 3/4 inch outlet of the leaf blower. And I angled the jets backward and slightly downward, and backwards primarily to help counteract the reverse thrust of the forward leaf blower. And I started going up a 3 3/4 inch grade at Train Mountain, and the drive wheels on my box cab start to spin until I get it going. So this helps to balance things out. The initial movement of the pine needles by the side jets right down there by the tracks gets all the debris, leaves, and particularly pine needles elevated, and then these 2 powerful jets on the side carry it the rest of the way. And I can clean a path about 6 feet wide, about to the edge of the ballast, and going about track speed 6 to 8 miles an hour without stopping, just one pass, and it pretty much cleans things very nicely. In fact, I think the track up there at Train Mountain is probably cleaner than it has been in a long time. Anyway, I'm very pleased with how this works out. In fact, it works out really a lot better than what I ever thought it would. And so, anyway, but this is a prototype, and it's open for any kind of improvements or suggestions by all of us genius inventors that are and innovators that are in the live steam hobby. And as you can see, it's pretty simply made. And I look forward to a friend of mine up here in Northern California putting this all in a 6-foot flat car, and which I think that it'll really help things out quite a bit as far as the space goes. Anyway, if you have any questions, my name is and my email is right there on the YouTube. And this is Charlie from Northern California, and maybe see you up at Train Mountain someday. And good luck and tracks ahead.